What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kevin Hoop Show. I'm looking completely different. I got my fucking hair cut. I got my beard trimmed. I'm looking like a completely different fucking person.
Here's Johnny.
But without further ado, it's enough talking about me. We're talking Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira this Saturday, April 8th. It's going to be a banger. It's for the UFC middleweight championship belt, and my God, can I not wait to watch this one. For anybody new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and also tune in this Saturday for our watch party going live at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, for those of you that live under a fucking rock and didn't watch the last fight, I cannot explain to you how much and how surprised I was when Alex Pereira comes out in the 5th round and boom, pow, boom, knocks out fucking Izzy. I was starstruck. It was the same thing with Usman and Leon Edwards with the head kick, headshot, headshot, headshot.
Boom, headshot. Boom, headshot. Boom, headshot.
It was crazy. And it was the same thing with Israel Adesanya. It was just fucking crazy. Like, Israel Adesanya, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of other people's, was winning that fight. I had the fight going 3-1 into that 5th round. Now, other people might have had it 2-2, but I think Israel Adesanya was winning the majority of that fight. I think he was showing good takedowns. Maybe not the best, but I mean, against Alex Pereira, you can really do any sort of takedown and it's gonna fucking work. With that, I think if he used that in that 5th round, he would still be champion, and this fight wouldn't even be taking place right now. But that's not how the UFC works, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys have recently seen with Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards in the rematch, who won? Leon Rocky Edwards, baby. And he made it look pretty dominant, in my fucking opinion. He fucking made Kamaru Usman look like he hadn't fought in a championship fight at all. With Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, the only difference is these guys have fought multiple fucking times. This, I think, is going to be the now 4th time they're fighting in a combat sport. They fought twice in kickboxing. They fought once in the UFC. And now they're going to fight again in the UFC. So just to have a little tale of the tape, for those of you that haven't heard any of this, lost twice in kickboxing, lost once now in the UFC. A lot of people say that, you know, Israel Adesanya in the first kickboxing fight should have won. It was a shitty judge's decision. But either way, in the second one, he got knocked out in the kickboxing match. So he's now got knocked out twice and lost once by decision. It doesn't look like the favor is going to be in Israel Adesanya's hands this weekend. But I will have to say, in at least 2 of those fights, he looked like the better fighter. Just with the fact that, you know, if the judges made a shitty decision in the kickboxing one, it is what it is. Give Israel Adesanya that win there. And then in the UFC fight, if he just would have went for a damn takedown. I know people might be like, oh, it's not entertaining. I don't give a shit. These guys are UFC champions. These guys are UFC fighters. They are not fucking necessarily fighting for the most entertaining fight. These guys are fighting to win, in my opinion. And I'm sure some fighters have that entertainment as a higher priority than other fighters. But the way that I would see it if I was a UFC fighter is I'm doing everything in my fucking power to get a W in the win column. That's it. If my name is in the win column, I'm happy. That's all that was the main objective. And I understand, you know, I'm sure it was like that for Colby Covington, and then, you know, he's about to get cut, blah, 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 blah. And now we see him, you know, having one of the most highest pay-per-view sales when it comes to pay-per-views. You know, I think that there is a lot of different aspects and priorities for some fighters. But the way that I saw it for Israel Adesanya was, you're already the champ, you're already an entertaining fighter, you have a whole bunch of fans. What the fuck is the point to not fucking take him down in the 5th round? It made zero fucking sense to me. Either way, I'll stop bitching about that. I'm just a really big fan of Israel Adesanya. I think that he's changed the game a lot in kind of being who you are as a person in the fans' eyes. You know, he paints his fingernails, He doesn't give a shit. He talks about cartoons. He humps guys in the fucking ring. Like, he in general is just himself, I think, and very genuine. And I don't think you can get that from necessarily like a fighter like Colby Covington. When it comes to Israel Adesanya, I think he's also, you know, with the painting of the fingernails and stuff, he might be, you know, trying to make it okay. And either way, I just think that he's a genuine guy and really well mindseted when it comes to how he goes about training and how he goes about seeing the loss against Alex Pereira recently in the UFC. I think he goes about it well, and I think that he thinks about things the correct way. Not saying that he's perfect, but, you know, I do think that he makes the right choice over the wrong choice a lot more. Unlike a guy like Jorge Masvidal, who's fucking hanging around strippers and fucking hookers and who else knows what.
Me so horny. Me so horny.
Who the fuck knows what Jorge Masvidal was doing before that Colby Covington fight. Now, going into this fourth fight between the two, I really do think that Alex Pereira does have a lot on his side. Now, I don't know if you guys watched the UFC fight between Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira in the last fight. Alex Pereira looks like a fucking superhuman at 185. He looks like that. The words are hard to come by because he's literally that unimaginable. It's speechless. You're speechless when you see a guy that size cut down to 185 pounds. I don't think I've seen one person say, yeah, that guy, he definitely weighs 185 pounds outside the ring. I haven't seen one person say that. Not one. Everybody says this dude should be 205, 220, 250 pounds, at least light heavyweight. And he himself has even talked about going to light heavyweight and fighting the champion there. So I really don't understand how the fuck this human cuts that much weight and why. I mean, if you think about the why, if you've got Israel Adesanya's number, it makes a lot of sense that if I cut down to 185, he's done. I beat him every time. In that aspect, I see. But when it comes to your health, when it comes to your kidneys possibly failing, dude, my guy, would you just take a break? I just think it's a lot. I honestly think it's a big weight cut, and I don't know how he hasn't gotten caught in the sense of being extremely dehydrated, extremely with a lack of energy. I think that maybe we almost saw that in the first fight in the UFC between these two. But even with that, if we did get a dehydrated and non-energetic Alex Pereira in that first UFC fight, that Alex Pereira still had a lot of fucking power. He was throwing haymakers through the first and fifth fight. And another big thing to talk about is Alex Pereira's leg kicks. Israel Adesanya talked about his leg was compromised after the first round because Alex Pereira landed a leg kick. So I think that Alex Pereira has power regardless of how much weight he cuts. It's more or less, will he be able to make the fucking cut? Because I genuinely don't understand how he does it. The dude looks like he walks around at 220 pounds, and it looks like he cuts 35 to 40 pounds 2 weeks before the fight, a week before the fight. Honestly, it looks like he could even be weighing like 220 or 230, 240. But, you know, those are just pictures. He's obviously not on a fucking scale. I'm just eyeballing things, and going off of what other UFC fighters said, because again, I haven't seen you show me one guy in let me know in the comments of one guy that has said Alex Pereira is a natural 185er, 110%. Either way, I'm not saying that. I'm sure Israel Adesanya weighs a little bit more than 185. I would give him maybe like 195, maybe 200. If you guys remember him going up to light heavyweight when he fought Jan Blachowicz, he didn't even come in at 205 pounds. I believe he came in at 190 something. I could be a little wrong there. I could be a little off, but I know he came under the 205 pound mark. Israel Adesanya to me is what a natural 185er looks like. Alex Pereira looks like the fucking Hulk at 185. It's going to be a great fucking night, especially if Israel Adesanya comes out the way that he did in that first fight. I think he's got a lot of potential for him. This Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, we're going live at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to watch it. Alex Pereira or Israel Adesanya whoop the other guy's ass. It's going to be a good one. We're going to be watching clips. We're going to be watching highlights. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic time this Saturday night right here on this channel. Don't forget to like and comment. Let me know who you guys think is going to be taking the W. If you guys are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And with that, have a great fucking day.